heard about fucking.
All right, it's EBA tonight with your boy Ice the Man. I am here with a couple guests on a special edition because it's a pre-season show. I am talking with, as always, my commish is here with me.
Another day, another dollar, man. Ready to get the season going?
Texas James Smith, as always. I also have King Mizark is here with me tonight as well. King.
What's up? What's up?
And also have Woody. So I have a three-guest, four-person show tonight. Woody, you there?
Yeah, I am ready to rattle some rims.
Rattle some. You see, it's already. You gotta ignore that last season stuff. You can't be bringing last season stuff in here. Anyway, we'll jump right in. We're gonna go big tonight. We're gonna talk a lot about the preseason, what's happening in the preseason, what's happening for season start. We're trying to get enough. I just checked. There's 100 signups, so we're trying to get enough to go ahead and launch for and get it ready for next season. We did a few more signups. I would prefer about 20 to be comfortable, but whatever. I think at least 20 to be comfortable going in. We are going to have some signups throughout the season, so that's good, but I'd always like to have a good amount of training camps in order to assign when people decide to be little bitches and quit. But let's jump right in to the season. If I can open it up, let's jump right in to where we are here going on the Season 6 team draft. First, let's talk a little bit about the owners. And we're lucky to have an owner with us. We have King Mizark here. But let's talk about how things are rolling out. Can you name all the owners and GMs for me, Commish? I'm sure you have that somewhere in a document right close to you.
Yes, owners in order by picks. All right, so we'll go from 1 to 10, in that order. So first pick, Shumpert, and his GM is not there. No GM.
No GM. Okay.
Second pick, no GM. Second pick, Mike Man. No GM. Third pick was Evidence, which was no GM. Keep in mind that there were trades that happened for the picks. So that's how. So all this just wasn't completely random. Somebody's got traded up and traded back and such. Fourth pick is Revolves, and he has no GM. Fifth pick, Abyss. Realist, again, returning from last season, is his GM. Sixth pick was our guest on the show, Mizark. And returning from last season as his GM again is G Money. Think he got the MVP? Pretty sure. Yeah, so, rightly so. And then next pick is Hayden Land. His GM is Return of the King. And then you have Kuro, no GM, Trainer, no GM, and Remix with his GM being E-Money.
Oh, wow, E-Money, his GM. Gotcha. So let's kind of run through a couple things. Before we get into the picks and stuff, I want to ask a couple questions. There's some changes that's gone on through season. We're going to talk about that a little later, but there's something major that really affects the picks. You were talking about trading and so forth. So one of the major things I know is you did a salary change. Am I correct on that? I mean, the owners voted that that's the way they wanted to move forward. Since I have an owner here, King Mizark, I wanted to ask him what he thought about the new salary changes, because the Warriors aren't banned, but I do want to know your thoughts. I think it's like the first pick. Could you tell us exactly what it's like? The first pick gets a less amount.
I can name it right now real quick.
Perfect.
To, 1 through 10, I'll just spit out the numbers, in order. I'm not gonna go 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Okay, so we got 114 mil, 16, 16, 16, 17, 17, 17, 18, 19, and 20 in that order from 1 to 10.
Okay, so the only big jump is the 10th gets 20. From there it goes 19, 19, 19, and then you said 17, 17, or 16?
It goes 14 for 1, and then the next 3 is 16. And then the next 3 is 17.
Okay.
And then it goes 18, 19, 20.
18, 19, 20. Okay.
Yeah.
So King
Mizark. So the
Mizark.
biggest jump is obviously besides 14 to 20 is going to be the first to the second. And that's a 2 mil difference there. And other than that, it's 1 million per, switch of money. So, yeah.
Well, for people who don't know, King Mizark, you won the owner of the year last year with the Minnesota Timberwolves, had probably one of the best seasons I've ever seen with the last pick. Um, going into this year's draft, did you vote for or against this whole salary thing?
Well, I was the only one that actually voted against it. But it was overwhelming. It was, I think, 9-1. So I just said, you just change my vote. I'm with it. I mean, I didn't really. I mean, I kind of am glad that it went through. It does make more sense now that I took more time to think about it. I wish it existed last season because the guy that got the 10th pick traded it for the first pick. So I mean, I would have loved that last season, but or some extra cap to help out with the Timberwolves. But I mean, I do think it's a good idea. It just some people are valuing the cap more than the pick. Some people are valuing the pick more than the cap. So it just really matters where you stand.
Yeah, I think it gives a little bit more extra, just my opinion on it. It gives a little extra something for the owners to have to deal with, of trying to build their team.
Mm-hmm.
It puts people on a
I
little bit of
agree.
a different level. I like that because I like anything that brings us closer to fantasy better. I know we can't make it exact because then you could build dynasties and so on and so forth. But I do like the picks affecting your salary. I don't know if that difference is right. I don't know if the numbers are right. That's our first shot at it, so I wish them the best. I like that over banning any team. I like that idea. But again, that's just the way I feel. Woody, I mean, you kind of left you in the corner over there. What do you feel with the new change with one? They didn't ban the Warriors, which I don't know if you were for or against, but two, the difference in the picks and how the picks change your salary.
I think it was a good idea. I think it just makes sense. I mean, we had to do something about it. Whether you like it or not. Whether you're a fan to ban them or not or anything like that. I mean, you can't deny the fact that the Warriors are, the Warriors. They're the best team on this game.
Yeah.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
Best team
So
ever.
I thought, yeah, I thought we had to do something, and I think it'll be interesting. I mean, this is kind of like a beta to to see if this really works or not. Now if the Warriors Trump goes out here and wins again, and it's not even close, then at that point that's when you say, all right, you know what, we really got to look into banning them. But I mean, I think we'll see what happens with it. If it works, it works. If not, then we'll look at something else.
You're talking to
You know,
tricks.
originally,
Go ahead.
originally we went with a lot more dramatic number at the number one spot. I think we went with
What are they
12
12?
million.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it was 12 million for the first pick. And I mean, we really wanted to like choke the shit out of the Golden State Warriors, but we talked to some owners, and a lot of them were on the fence about it. And so, as staff, we got together and like, okay, well, what can we do to make more people happy? Because the end goal is to make as many people happy as possible, make it fun for everybody. So
Yeah.
we toned it back a little bit, gave first pick 2 million, and adjusted the salary throughout the rest, and pulled, the last pick down a couple mil. But overall, I mean, I think it came through fun, like you said. I think it's a cool thing for the owners. It expands the ownership a little bit more and gives them more control of their team and where they want to go up or down on the pick. Gives them the opportunity to trade their picks, which they've people brought it to me last season when it didn't even matter, But so it's a cool thing for the owners, and I think moving forward is going to be fun, and hopefully we can have it again next season.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is definitely a good shot at testing grounds, I guess. So I think it's a good testing ground right now. Like I said, I don't know if the numbers are right. I think Chump could win with 500K players, but that's just me. I mean, I played against people who I didn't think were good Warrior players, even when Cleveland had it, and I still was like, man, you so lucky. You got bailed out by 2K. I don't know how many times I said that playing. I mean, I'm not the best player, so it could be my horrible defense as well. But I can tell you, it feels like you're battling uphill battle when you play them. But it's still realistic. I mean, any team has to right now in the NBA has to face the same issue. I think it was last night. I was watching the Trailblazers just smack the shit out of them. Had like 70 points going into the half or something against the Warriors. So I mean, it's possible. You just got to put the right team and right build around them. So let's kind of jump a little bit into the picks. You said how many teams took the average of a GM, and the GM is still a third of your cap, right? Is that how you still figure out
Yes,
the GM?
and we did the GM per cap. Obviously, it wasn't a
Mm-hmm.
hard number, So the less money you had, the less your GM was going to cost, but it's still going to be equal or roughly a third of your cap because obviously it's to the nearest 500K. But we only had 4 GMs taken this year, which is Realist, G Money, Return of the King, and E Money. Um, and that was, what is that, 5.5 mil for Realist, uh, G Money, and Return of the King because they're all sitting on the 17 mil team, and 6.5 mil for E Money. So, it's
We'll talk a little bit about free
it's
agency and bidding here in a minute when we get to the end of the show. I think that's really going to affect, but I still feel that you can build a strong team with that money. Let's jump right over and let's start talking about team picks and our thoughts on those. So in the EBA, of course, what you selected is who got first pick, who got second pick, who got third pick, whatever.
Mhm.
Let's talk about the picks themselves. I do know that Shumpert, number one, picked the Warriors. I mean, guys, that's a no-brainer, right? I mean, what do you think, King
And
Mezar? You're number one.
He traded the 10th pick for
Mhm.
the first pick,
Number
which
one pick.
is
Yeah, but
it's
like you
real.
said,
It's unreal to me. Like I don't understand that. Why would you give someone who is a good 2K player and known to have connections in this EBA the best team in the league? Like I mean, Shump's my boy, but yeah, I hate to see the Warriors with a great owner.
yeah, I'm gonna. From when I seen it, I was like, why would you, I was blown away. I was totally blown away that happened. Like I can understand maybe trading down to 7 or 8 to get some money, and maybe picking someone probably at that time it was Abyss at 8 or something. Maybe giving somebody like that, even though Abyss has got good connections, maybe even giving Evidence, trading down a couple picks and getting a little bit more cap, but giving somebody like Evidence who is a new owner that doesn't have a whole lot of connections, the Warriors. Then you just pretty much wipe them off the board, right? I mean, not saying that he can't be competitive with the Warriors. I'm saying that it's just harder for someone that doesn't have the connections or hasn't been in the league for a very long time an opportunity. To say, hey, here's the best team in the league. Good luck, and people will come to you, but you have a lot less cap to try to build that. So,
And he re-signed Swizzerk for 1.5 mil, which is really gonna help him coming into
Wizards, what was
this
on my
next
top
season.
list. I didn't know he's not available. Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
so that's good. I mean, Shump and Swizz together are pretty scary. I played with them last year in Toronto, and especially with the Warriors. I mean, good lord. But I mean, Woody, do you think? I mean, you obviously say the first pick goes to the Warriors, no matter what. I mean, if you're owner, you're in the position automatically without even questioning the first pick is the Warriors.
I mean, well, first I saw remakes and E Money, and I was like, oh, I was like, that's gonna be dangerous. They're gonna put together a good team probably. And when I saw they traded, I was like, I was surprised because I was like, I mean, you got the number one pick. Yeah, you're gaining more cap by moving back, but dude, this is the Warriors. I don't care how much cap I got. That's not worth giving up the Warriors. Bro, I could put together a 500 team like it's nothing, and I mean, the Warriors are gonna make them look good. So I was like, what? I don't know. It blew my mind. It did.
I mean, Commish, did you think that trade was like a 10-1? I mean, was he being a troll or was he serious that?
Well, originally I was like, maybe he just wants more money, and then when he put E Money as GM, I was like, okay, he's probably just dicking off. That's probably what's happening. He's doing that, but I mean, it could turn out that he just wants the money. I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, E Money knows a lot of people in the league, and with that amount of money, as we've seen from Miz, and Miz had the same amount of money from the rest of the league at 10th pick with the right money, you can put together a squad to make a push, man. Especially in the East, because they picked Boston, which we'll get to later. But in the East, with the money that he has, and at that last pick, you kind of get to decide where you want to go. West, East.
Yeah.
What's looking strong, what's looking weak. I mean, it's not bad with the money. Would you? I mean, I would go from 2 to 10 maybe, but from 1 to 10 and pass up Golden State, no, hell no. Hell no. No way I pass
Well,
that up.
I wouldn't say going from 2 to 10 now that the Cavs are about to get Kyle Korver.
The Cavs are going to get Kyle Korver?
Yeah, the trade already
Yeah,
went
they're
through.
yeah they're
Oh
yeah
my
so yeah
God.
so
The
there
Atlanta
was
was on my
that
list,
lead.
but then I read something
Yep,
saying that there was a rumor trades that they were trying to dump some guys off, and one of them was
Dunleavy being
Kyle
the first
Korver.
round pick.
I was like, oh my
Yep.
God. Wow.
It was
So
a great trade for the Cavs.
yeah, well that brings us right into number 2 pick, Mike Man with the Cavs. I know that Kamish has to be over here like, yeah, baby, because the Cavs
I don't know
are
what you're talking about.
yeah, whatever.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mike
I
Man's your
don't know what
boy.
you're
We
talking
know
about.
this. So, but I know
I
Mike
don't like
Man
that guy, dude. Hell
picking
no.
Cavs.
Mm-hmm.
That's. I mean, I'm just saying if you need a power forward, hit a brother up because I love. But the 2 is weak. They get Kyle Korver. That's going to be. I mean, that's like their weakest spot is their 2. Now they just become strong pretty much all across the board. Maybe at their 5 they're not as strong, but they just become strong to me. 4 spots. They're if they get Kyle Korver to me, they're competing with the Warriors hand in hand almost. Like I said, maybe the 5's not as strong, but still. What do you think about that pick, King Mizark? I mean, number 2. I'm not gonna go with the commish because he's just gonna tell me, oh, this is a great pick. I mean, Cavs, of course, are they an easy number 2 pick? Can you write those down?
No.
Yeah, hands down, number 2 pick, in my opinion. J.R. Smith has a weird shot. Now they got Korver, who's automatic green. You can't leave anyone open. But no one compares to the Warriors. Those badges they got, you could just shoot with everyone's face because they all got gold Deadeye, and they're still going to make all those contested shots. But the Cavs are the number 2 team in my book. I mean, they're always healthy, it seems like. Kyrie, LeBron, Love. And then Tristan Thompson's not no slouch either. He's actually a little underrated in this game. He dunks a lot. So, Mike Mann made a great pick. He traded the 9th pick to get the number 2 and took the Warriors.
Now again, Trainer and Remix. Are they trolling? I mean, why? I would go down a couple from 2. Me personally,
Trainer got Oklahoma City at number 9, and with 19 million. So that's not that bad, man.
Yeah, I don't know though. I don't. I mean,
it's
here's the thing. I mean, to defend those guys, Remix and Imani, they're 2 centers. What are they going to do? Play on JaVale McGee and try to build the Warriors? I see where they're coming from. And Trainer, the way Trainer plays, they had the they had the Cavs in another league, and they were horrible with them. So, I mean, I feel like the Thunder are more their style. And, I mean, they're both master trolls, so hopefully they could bid up some players, just not mine.
just not mine, he says. Woody, I mean, the Cavs, you played, I think, last year with the Cavs. You started the season in New York, and you went to the Cavs. Do you think Cavs is a solid number 2 pick? I mean, I know you struggled a little, but it's still, I mean, they were a number 2 pick.
Yeah, no, hands down, it is what it is. There's no... I mean, well, here's the thing, though. You can argue. Don't get me wrong. There is an argument there. Some people might say, and I mean, I have some people who say that they would rather have the Raptors. But the way I see it, and it's a good pick now, especially because Kyle Korver's there.
Yeah.
I mean, you still got LeBron, Kyrie, who's, almost automatic green lights, period. I mean, 96 midi. LeBron, K-Love got boosted. I wish he was boosted when I was there. Tristan Thompson's a dog, And now you got Kyle Korver, who's another automatic green light. I mean, Kyle Korver's going to fit into that team perfectly. I'd put them up there with the Warriors, but like Miz said, A, you can't keep up with the badges, and B, I mean, it's still every position on that court, their players are still better.
Yeah.
Draymond's better than K-Love, Durant's better than LeBron, so on and so forth. So.
Yeah, but I mean, that really, with Kyle Korver, that really helps, I think, huge with their running 4 on the outside to really try to stop. I mean, you could really spread the floor anyway, but now you can really spread it just become a whole new floor. But going over to
who'd they trade?
Dunleavy
in the first.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah, they got a hell of a deal.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, that's pretty steal. So
is it my turn to talk?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you talk, even though I mean, Mike Mann's your boy. Where's he gonna? I want to know one question. You know this, I don't. Where's Mike Mann playing? Is he gonna play Kyrie? Because he'd be a badass.
I don't know
nothing
about that dude. I don't know nothing about Mike, bro. Look, me and Mike I've played with Mike, a couple times, maybe here and maybe there.
Every season.
I might walk past, me and Mike have a relationship where you walk by somebody in the supermarket, you was like, "What's up?" He's like, "What's up?" That's it. I don't want to play for him. That's not my style. I don't know. But he did re-sign Misty, which is a good re-sign for 1.5 mil. I don't know why you think I like, me and Mike's like that, man. I don't know. I don't got much to say about that team. Let's go to number 3.
Oh my God! Hold on, guys. I'm gonna need to dig myself out of all the shit that just got piled on me. I need a break for him. I can't. Hold on. There's too much shit being tossed around here.
What?
Let's go to number 3 and Evidence of the Blazers. Now I'm gonna be 100% honest. I've played a few games with Evidence because one, he's having a little bit of trouble getting guys together to play so he can scout them. So if you want to play with an owner that's a very reasonable guy, Evidence is probably one of the best guys. Again, I said this last year about Timo. One of the best guys that, as a person, that I like to play on Xbox Live with. Very friendly. He doesn't talk crazy. He's open. He's not very good at the game. I mean, he's not. But he's got connections, but they're old VFL connections. Again, like I said last year with Timo, it's old VFL connections. Hopefully he doesn't put together a 500K team, and I think he's smarter than that. But I see this team struggling. I don't think Evidence will quit, but I do see this team struggling this year to put up wins, only because he's going to get a rude awakening that it's a pretty competitive league. Unless he goes after some of the top big names, and listens to other people, I think Evidence will struggle. You had the Blazers last year. What does Evidence need to do to build a good team? First, tell me if that's a good pick at 3, if you think that's his third best team, and then second, tell me what he needs to do to really be competitive in this league. And I'm going to go straight to the commish.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely made a good pick. I mean, it shows a little bit of his 2K knowledge. I mean, to go straight to Portland, that right there shows that, I mean, at least he's trying and preparing for the season instead of going with some outrageous pick or something beyond that. I think Portland is definitely a 3 pick. It's definitely a 3 pick if you can get your ones. You have to have Dames. I mean, if you don't have Dames, then you have problems. We went to the playoffs and we had to sub one of our Dames out, and we subbed our Dame out with a guy that was pretty decent, but he couldn't do anything because he ain't played with Dame all year. But you have to have a solid Dame. If you do not have Damian Lillards on that team, they are worthless. I mean, they got some shooters on the edge, but if you can't get them open with progression from your point guard, that's going to be the issue. If he can find good ones and he can get good ones, he can have a great season. They got a team to spread the floor and shoot from the perimeter. They got bigs that can bang down low, but you just have to have the one, and that's the centerfold of everything on that team. If he can get good Damians, he has a good season ahead of him.
Woody, now I know you're not an owner, but if you were an owner, what advice would you give Evidence to say, hey, this is first? I mean, of course, I imagine you would agree that's the third best team out there. I would argue that it's the 3 or 4, fourth. You can argue the third a little bit, but it's pretty damn good, solid team, especially with McCollum at the 2. I played last night with him and he's amazing. But what advice would you give to Evidence to say this is what you need to do?
I mean, me personally, if I had to give him advice, and I'd say, look, don't go into anything blind. It's not just about getting people in games and saying, oh, this dude can play Lillard, oh, this dude can't. At the same time, as an owner, you got to do what you got to do. Do some research, look at some players and say, okay, well, this dude's a really good point guard. I think he might be able to play on Lillard. Because not everybody's gonna try for Evidence. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, he's a really cool dude. Love to do that. He's a real nice guy, real chill to play with. Don't have any issues with him. But because this is his first season, he's not.
I can tell you right now, he's struggling to get guys to show up for games. I mean, he's hitting me up every night to play, and I'm only doing it because Evidence is an old friend of mine, and I'm trying to help him out.
Right.
But I don't really want to play. I mean, if I do, I don't care, but I don't want to play on the Trailblazers only because Evidence is new, and I know that he's going to struggle to compete this year, and I want to compete. So, yeah. I mean, I agree with what you're saying, but how do you battle that? How do you get these guys to show up and try to at least try out for you? Do you just grab them blindly and hope that they show up and play?
Well, I mean, that's what I said. I mean, he's gonna have to do some research. He's gonna have to look at players. I mean, there's a lot of great point guards around the league.
Yes.
Dimes, Majestic. There's a bunch of different people around the league who can play. I mean, even then, Fab. That's a hell of a risk, but I mean, you could get Fab and play Lillard. I mean, he can. Fab is a great point guard. He could carry a line with Lillard, and we know that. That's what I'm saying. So if these people, these people, if they request a trade, hey, it is what it is. They got to play for you at least a week or two. So it's not like you're not gonna get anything out of them. So look, motherfucker, you're gonna show up and you are going to play, or you can get blacklisted again. It is what it is. Yeah. So I mean, he's do what you can with the tryouts, but do your own research, man. Do not go into a blind. Look at people's stats from seasons before. Look at their averages, stuff like that. Just pay attention, man. Just do your part.
And I mean, something to add on that, he's in a nothing to lose situation.
Yeah.
If he's having struggles to get guys to show up, then he's already gonna have a struggle in the season. So he has nothing to lose to go out there and spend his money. There's nothing to lose if you can't get guys to try out. Go out there and get Fab, and go out there and get some of these guys on his bid up list and make them play. And go out here and take Mizark's fucking people, because I
Oh
mean
yeah, take
they're
his.
gonna play, they're gonna get blacklisted. And because Mizark's people's already shown that they can win with nothing. So if you give them something, they can win.
Yeah.
So go out there and pay money and make sure to get guys. And because if your season's gonna go down the drain because you have booty, then you might as well go out there and spend money and make it go down the drain because you have something and they don't want to play for you. So make sure you spend every dollar you got and make sure you do your research on the good talent. And I'm 100% with that.
So flipping over to actually, since you brought Mizark in the conversation, I want to bring him in as well. 10th pick, Minnesota Timberwolves. You rookie first year as an owner. Best season ever for I mean I would say one of the best seasons ever for a 10th pick. You end up being owner of the year
And a rookie owner.
and a rookie owner. Talking to another rookie owner. Now you kind of had your boys that you brought in and kind of snuck in. Not really snuck in, but nobody knew, so you got on your team. So I'm not going to say snuck in, but there was a lot of guys that nobody was like, I don't know this dude, I'm not bidding on him, and you ended up getting them on your team. Pretty reasonable. What are you looking at evidence and saying, look, man, this is what you got to do to be successful, at least somewhat decent throughout the first season? What are you telling him?
Okay, before I go into that, I really want to thank Woody and James for trying to, throw in some shots right there at my guys. Okay, so
Get
and
him!
telling them
I
to
have
bid
no
on my
clue.
guys. Okay,
Get him!
but look, my advice to him. I mean, I would definitely go after quote unquote big name point guard. Um, I would reach out to him and tell him you have Lillard, you have a great team, you have probably the second best player on the second best point guard, arguably first best point guard in the game. So that everyone wants to play with a star. I mean, it's Curry and Lillard. Who
Agreed.
else is there?
Agreed.
Also, there's some people that could play point guard that have been in the EBA for a long time, but they just haven't. I mean, I would also get in touch with some people that have been playing in this league for a while and give them a shot. I mean, that's sometimes more stable because, I mean, look, I got all these guys that I knew, and three or four of them, when it came down to it in the Eastern Conference Finals, they didn't show up. So I mean, means more to me, winning, having the best regular season record, or winning? Like that season was a
Yeah,
waste to me because
yeah.
at the end of the day, I lost, and so I mean, I do plan on going about this season a little different. So I mean, but to him, I would say go after a mixture of guys. I mean, you don't have to get all money league guys, you don't have to get all pro am guys, but also mix in these guys that are going to show up for you every week and play with an open mind and play also with an open schedule because that is a problem as an owner, dude.
Yeah, yeah,
Is
definitely.
getting all these people on the same page.
Yeah. I can see that's the biggest
Yeah.
issue is getting your guys to show up. That's the problem that you run into, especially with the 2K doesn't make it real easy to invite into parties and invite from parties into. I mean, you got to jump into somebody else's. It took us longer than it's taken us in a long time the other night to actually get a game going. So 2K is not making it easier with some of the rules that they brought on. So just getting your guys on, getting them prepared, and getting them ready is definitely a good start. So I wish Evidence the best. I do think they're going to struggle this year. I feel kind of sorry, but I do hope he builds connections in order to be very successful in his following years. I don't think he's going to quit. He's not a quitter type of guy, but I do see him having a Farah type of, and I hate to say that because Farah cheated, but I hope he has a Farah. I hope he has a better than Farah type of start to the season. I hope he doesn't get somebody they quit on him and then he's struggling to get people to show up for the rest of the season. Moving on, let's go to Revolves with the Raptors. Now Revolves, he's a returning owner, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Who did he have last season?
He had the Rockets last
Yep.
season.
So,
And they
so
made
do
the
you?
playoffs.
The question I want to ask, I'm gonna go right back to King Mizart because I ended with him. One at 4, the Raptors. Surprising to me, but I want to get your input on that pick. Do you think they're better than the Rock? Of course, they're probably better than the Rockets now because I believe that center's injured in the Rockets. But do you think that one, that's a better team, and two, do you think he'll end up better by the end of the season where he's at? I mean, what do you think about the pick, and what do you think about where he's going or moving from?
I like the pick a lot. Lowry, DeRozan. The Raptors have a complete team. They also there's rumors that they're going after Paul Millsap, so that would fill that
Ooh,
power forward position for them. Revolve's a cool guy. I like Revolve's a lot. I think. I mean, he was in the West last year. He struggled. He was battling for that third seed. He ended up getting it, and I know he was having some problems with people showing up for him. So I mean, I do see him making the playoffs, hands down in the East. I know he didn't keep his GM, Young Shot, but I do see like them still teaming up. But I think he'll put together a good team, and also Lowry. And like I said, Lowry and DeRozan are valued players in the league, so he will get two good people to fill those two positions up as well. But I do like the Raptors at 4. Questionable if the Clippers are completely healthy, to me at least.
Yeah, I played on the Raptors last season, and beyond the 3 is I didn't like Terrence Ross at 3. He was just not my guy. He wasn't for me at that third position. He's very streaky, so I had really good games. I had really shitty games with him. So in the 4, it's kind of one way or the other depending on who you have there. And nobody could really do work with the 5 there with Valanciunas, which I thought they could do better than what they did do. So kind of moving on to Woody, you're kind of play power forward, center. How would you feel? One, how do you like to pick? And 2, how would you feel if you were on the Raptor squad?
Well, I definitely like the pick. I can say that. I do like the pick. I think the Raptors are a really good team, especially if you got a good point guard.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who can really knock it down. I mean, Lowry's got catch and shoot, pick and roll maestro. He's got everything you want. DeRozan's crazy on this game, dude. I mean, if he's got an open lane to the rim, you better believe you're getting dunked on. It's insane how much
Yeah.
this dude dunks, dude. Honestly, it's crazy. And I mean, I've seen a lot of people who can play with Terrence Ross. He might not be your player, but I can tell you right now, I know some people who will surprise you with Terrence Ross. I've seen people drop 30, 40 because he's got corner specialists and he's got
Mm-hmm.
a really easy green jump shot. I mean, his jump shot is green light. Once you learn it, it's easy. It's money every time.
Well, they
The
raised his
4 and the
3-point
5,
too.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
they
to say
did.
now the 4 and the 5 are interesting because Patrick Patterson, he can space it out, he can rebound. I like Patrick Patterson. And I like Valanciunas. It's just, I guess it just depends on who you got there. Valanciunas can be a dog, but I mean, you got to have a dog on him. And I mean, it's the same way with Patterson, man.
Yeah. But you like that pick at number 4.
Yeah, definitely. No, like I said, I mean, they can be argued to be, between them and the Blazers. I mean, some people would argue that they're better than the Blazers. It just depends, man.
Okay. Now flipping over to Texas, James Smith at 4 Raptors. What are your thoughts?
It's commish. You can just say flipping over to the commission. Everybody know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Just
But yeah,
move
yeah,
along.
okay. But the Raptors, the Raptors at number 4. I like it. If the Paul Millsap thing comes through, that's 100% flips that team over to just greatness. I think their forwards are only like iffy spot. Valanciunas is a savage. I've played with Valanciunas. He is a beast. He's very strong. He's great to have in your paint, especially on defense. But um, as a whole, man, I think they're great. I think Revolves has been a great owner in this league for a long time. There was a little bit of suspectness with him last season, trying to dump his players so they'll get some playoff spots. But he had good players, and he still made the playoffs with some of his shadiness stuff going on there. But overall, he's a great owner, and you can't be mad at him for looking out for his teammates. But so yeah, he's definitely going to be in a playoff push this year for sure, especially with the Raptors.
Yeah. I agree. I struggled with Terrence Ross, but I did great with Patterson. I think I ended up putting up like 18, 19 points with Patterson 2 games straight. So I liked him better than anybody else. I thought Patterson went to 4 was a strong, but he's more of a stretch a little bit. But anyway, moving on. Now this one surprised the hell out of me, and I was kind of like, what the fuck? Abyss, who originally had pick 8, goes up
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3 spots to the 5th spot to take the fucking Pacers. I'm blown away by this. He could have had that same team at 8. I don't know if Crow gave him a reach around, maybe sent him some PayPal cash. I don't know what happened with that deal. I don't know if there was extra I'll let you win against me in the writings or something like that. But the Pacers, help me out with that because I'm struggling, Kamish. Help me out with what's going on there.
Okay, so this is my thing. I don't know. I know Carell got another mil, or was it? Yeah, one mil out of the trade.
Yeah.
It was a 3-team trade. It was a 3-team trade. I don't know why the Pacers would not have been there at 8. I mean, maybe he got wind of somebody taking the Pacers. But I mean, if you look at it, maybe he wanted to give Frillis uh, Paul George. I mean,
Trust me, that's not it.
mimic LeBron. I They don't have a bad. I don't mind the Pacers. I mind the Pacers at 6.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Pacers down later, like maybe 8, 9, 10 ish. I wouldn't mind that, but the Pacers at 6. I don't know. I don't know why he would take less money to get the Pacers. I don't get it.
Nope.
But at the Pacers itself, I don't mind the Pacers. I think the Pacers are okay. So you know, but Pacers at 6. You got me there. Tag me out.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, me personally, don't get me wrong. I like the Pacers. I played on the greatest Pacer team that ever graced the VBA, EBA.
Yes,
So,
yes, my team.
The greatest Pacer team to ever play. I mean, I might be the greatest David West to ever touch these stakes, but we ain't gonna talk about that. No, I'm just saying.
Was not.
I mean, no, but really, I mean, dude, when he took the Pacers, I was literally just sitting. I was sitting at work, and I remember I saw that, and I turned my phone off, and I was like, "What the fuck is this dude doing?" You moved up from the 8th pick to the 5th pick to pick the Pacers. There's literally no way the Pacers wouldn't have been there. I mean, the Clippers would have been taken. The Clippers would have been taken. The Knicks would have been taken. The Spurs would have been taken. He might have took the Grizzlies. There was literally no way that the Pacers would have not been there at 8. So for you to move up to the 5th pick and take the Pacers, it doesn't make sense. There's literally no explanation for it. I could not tell you.
I can think of at least 6 other teams I'd rather have than the Pacers, at least. King Mizark, what's going through your mind at that 5th pick with the Pacers?
Well, I mean, I don't know why the hell he did it. Abyss is a really cool guy, but I mean, from what I heard, they traded up, and I guess Realist wanted the Knicks because I think Realist isn't even going to play Paul George this season.
He's playing
the
Miles
big
Turner.
man.
What?
Yep.
Yeah, so
Why would you
I
not
don't
take the
know.
Knicks there then? Oh my god.
The best
I mean, I
the
think he
Knicks.
could have stayed there. I think he could have. Yeah, I guess they don't like D Rose because he has no 3-pointer. But I mean, I think the Knicks are all around a better team. I mean, at my pick next, I was debating between the Knicks or the Clippers or the Spurs. So I mean, I don't know why he did it. I wouldn't have taken the Pacers at 5. You probably could have got the Pacers at 8, if not 9 or 10, in my opinion.
If not 11, 12, or 13. Good lord.
I mean, I don't like them personally. They're slow. Paul George has no handles, and I mean, the only benefit they have is that they're in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I tell you that I think they're going to struggle this season. I really do. I like Abyss a lot, and I wish him the best with that team. I hope he puts a good team around those Pacers, and they prove me wrong and win it all. Hell, I want him to go to the finals, but you put them up against any other team that you're looking right now in the East, and I got them losing. I mean, with average players and average players on both sides. So hopefully he came from the finals last year, and now he's going to the Pacers back in the East. It's just I think it's going to be a struggle for him to make it to the finals. So let's move on since we have King Mizark here. Let's move on with the 6th pick, King Mizark, the Clippers. I'm not going to start with you because that'd make it too easy. I'm going to go to Woody first. The Clippers at number 6. Solid pick, sad pick. What do you think?
The Clippers are nice. I've played with the Clippers, and I like the Clippers. I think they're a really good team. I mean, Chris Paul, Chris Paul's Chris Paul.
Yep.
He honestly, I don't think 2K does him just because I think Chris Paul could I think his jump shot could be fixed a little bit because his jump shot's kind of broke sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, then at the 2, you got the sniper, J.J. Redick. I mean, J.J. Redick can shoot with the best of them. I mean, J.J. Redick, in my opinion, is, at times, if you got the right person on him, J.J. Redick is the best shooter on this game, period. No fans or buts. I mean, he's got everything gold. He's got an easy release. It's just money. You see him shoot, and you're just like, oh, that's going in. The 3 is the weakest part of this team, but if you get the right person on Wesley Johnson, I mean, they can do well too. Wesley Johnson has a nice jumper corner specialist. I think overall it's a really good team. I mean, obviously, Blake will be back. DeAndre's there. DeAndre's a horse. I mean, I think it was a good pick. I mean, you look at the rest of the bunch and you look at the rest of those teams, and you look at the West as a whole, and I think you can say, okay, that's a good pick.
Well, I think it's a step up from the Timberwolves. What do you think, Amish?
Um, I mean, Blake comes back in time to kick the season off and all that stuff. Like I said, I've always had a dream to play with DeAndre. One day that'll happen. Depending on if one of my owners pick me. One specific owner gets the Clippers. That might happen. But
You're talking about Mike.
Mike, man, he
I'm
gets the
not talking
Clippers.
about Mike.
So when
I'm not
Mike gets the
talking about
Clippers, you
Mike.
can go.
I'm
Okay,
not
got you.
talking about.
Go ahead.
I'm not talking about Mike. I'm talking about Ike. Alright? But anyway, let's the Clippers though, my man Miz, they gonna dog out with the Clippers if they can do what they did with if he can get anywhere near the same team as he had with the Timberwolves, man, he definitely gonna ball out. All great all around shooters. If Blake comes back strong, if with DeAndre, man, where's G playing this year, Miss?
He's playing point guard.
So, no, he wanted to play the wing, but I mean, I don't. He was probably just. I mean, he could do it, but I need to convince him to stay down low. I mean,
Yeah,
You
he's
put
a
him on
dog.
Blake
so
or?
my reasoning, okay, of choosing this team, Ice. Did you want to ask a question?
Yeah, I want to ask you a question before you go because I know that you're probably happier to have Los Angeles Clippers because you've seen what you did with the Timberwolves. If you can get one, I kind of want to know because I have the benefit of having you here. I want to know one, what was your other thoughts of your picks? What else crossed your mind right there? And two, why did you pick the Clippers? What were your key points? And three, going into bidding, where are your hot spots? Like what hot spots do you feel that? I mean, you don't need to give me all your back end story, but I kind of want to know you know, what are you looking for when you're scouting these players, or is you just going to try to bring your boys back? I mean, what are your thought process? So go with the first question. Timbers over the Timberwolves over the Clippers. Who else was on your mind at that time?
Okay, so when I initially got the sixth pick, I wanted to trade up, but no one wanted to trade with me. Because I was thinking, okay, Warriors are going to be on, Cavs are going to be on. So my next three teams that I wanted, obviously the Trailblazers, but and then after that, I knew I wasn't going to be able to trade in the top three. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, as long as by the sixth pick, either the Clips, Spurs, or Knicks are there, I'm going to just take whichever one's left because I thought the Knicks, the Spurs, and the Clips, would be taken. At least one of them would be available, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it ended up that all three of them were available, and I was just confused. I was like, "What the hell is going on?" And I mean, I guess people don't have the same team, the teams rated in the same order that I have them. Because I mean, the Spurs went undrafted, but
Thank
so
you. I
my
thought I was the only one thought that was fucking
No,
crazy.
I thought it was
I
crazy
wish
too.
I had
You
it.
are.
I wish I had the 10th pick
Yeah.
right now, so I could have that cap and have the Spurs and just go on with it. But that's another subject. So my initial thought process was, okay, I got G Money, reigning MVP, and I got Too Cool re-signed, which was top three in center of the year. So
You
I
go with the
wanted
big
to take
man.
the Spurs really bad. Yeah, I want to take the Spurs really bad so I could play with Kawhi Leonard, but I wasn't going to be selfish. And I think I made the logical decision by giving him DeAndre Jordan because, I mean, he's a horse.
Yeah.
So hopefully they could carry me this season.
So where do you see yourself playing?
Oh, I'm playing Chris Paul.
Are you? Yeah. I don't
I'm
blame you.
playing. I'm gonna
Yep,
play.
that's a no.
I'm gonna play Chris Paul. I mean, and I'm gonna strap Shumpert, and he is gonna get strapped when he plays me because
Yeah,
he
that's
is
a
not gonna
super
do
L.
nothing with Curry, and he is gonna get locked up. And I'm making it known live on the show right now that he is gonna get clamped
He's
up when he
calling it
plays me.
out.
He is.
Shump, don't be
Um,
dipping. Don't be ducking, Shump. He's calling you out right now. You're gonna
I,
get
I mean, I
shut
tell him all
the
the time. I
fuck
was in the
down.
party with him. I'm telling you, he's gonna get shut down with my gold lockdown defender. He better have three people setting him screens because he's gonna get swarmed.
You heard it here first. Owner of the year
Uh,
last year, shutting down Shump, the number one pick. You heard it here
but
first.
I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I played point guard all my 2K career. This 2K I haven't really. So if I can get good point guards like I ended up drafting last year, I'll move to the 3. I really like Jamal Crawford. He's
Mhm.
got some of the glitchiest handles in the game, and he's got a shot that I like. So I'll play Jamal Crawford. I mean, I do whatever's best for the team, dude. I mean, last season I moved around to the 3 shittiest positions on the T Wolves, playing with Bjelica, Levine, and Wiggins before he had a jump shot. So whatever's best for the team, I'll do it. But I do see myself running the point guard with and feeding one of my big men all season.
Yeah, well, you got those horses down there. You definitely want to keep them happy. But I don't think that the 3 and 4 is that weak on the team, especially with, I mean, Blake when he gets back. But even with these gone, I still don't think it's one of the weaker spots. I love the 3 spot on that team because of I'm a huge Paul Pierce fan, and I still think he's got a sick jumper. It takes a little long, but it's green light city, even with his old ass. Um, so I think it's a good pick there at number 6. I think you did well. Moving on to number 7, Haydenland 23, new owner, takes the Knicks. I played a game with those guys the other night, and they had some pretty good chemistry already. Their Porzingis is broke. I played Courtney Lee and hit a few threes in the corner. He once you get his shot down is pretty broke, but it took me a game or two to get it. But of course, like I said, I'm bad. Um, so with the Knicks, going back to King Mizark, you said it was one of your teams. You think that's a solid pick at 7, of course, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, they exploit the Eastern Conference's weakness, which is there's no real glitchy big man besides Porzingis in the Eastern Conference. I mean, if you want to count Dwight Howard, but I don't think anyone is going to take the Hawks in the next couple seasons of EBA. But yeah, I think that's a great pick. Carmelo does everything good, but does nothing great. Derrick Rose has some good handles. Courtney Lee is a good corner player, and Joakim Noah is underrated. But Porzingis is just that X factor. He's a top 3 big in 2K, possibly, arguably.
Well, Return of the King
I
was
mean,
playing.
We saw what Woody did, and you know about Woody. So
Yeah, so if he could do that with Porzingis, you already
Yeah,
know that man's a
yeah.
Bro,
savage.
I'm a fucking
Simple,
god.
simple. The 3 was this is probably the best 3 I've played. I've played a few games with the Knicks, just playing around, and of course the guys I play with are reasonable guys. But I haven't seen anybody play the 3 well, and he's a good superstar, but Carmelo Anthony can be hard to play with. Return of the King played him very well. I think he went like 9 for 10, and he did really, really smart play with him, and even hit a couple wide open threes. I think they could be scary. I mean, Woody, you played on the Knicks. Do you feel in that Eastern Conference, the way it's shaping out, that 7, first of all, is a good pick, and with the Knicks, and also, do you feel that they're contender for that first spot?
I mean, the Knicks are definitely, especially for 7. That's a great pick. You know, I mean, they have everything that you want. Derrick Rose is he's a good player. Obviously, you got a shooter in Courtney Lee. Melo, Melo can do it all. He's a good rebounder. Not really that great on defense, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Porzingis is broken, and I mean at the 5 you got Kyle O'Quinn or Joakim Noah. It doesn't really make much of a difference. So I think that the team as a whole is really good. Um, Now it's going to be interesting. I don't think they're really going to. I don't think they're going to be fighting for the number 1 spot just because the Cavs are still there, and Mike Mann's a good owner, so. But
Hmm.
I mean, I definitely see them at number 2. The only way I see him messing up this season is if he doesn't pick me for Porzingis. I mean, if he doesn't do that, then that's already dead. But yeah, I think if he does that, he's okay.
Gotcha. So it's definitely contingent on whether or not they pick up Woody. Okay, gotcha. Moving
That's
on
that's what
to
every season is.
moving on to the commish. At 7 spot, the Knicks. Did you think the Knicks were going to be there at 7, and was that a good pick?
Honestly, after what I saw G Money do with Cat last season, I thought for sure they were gonna take the Knicks, 100% when it was his pick. When the Biz didn't take, when the Biz and Revolves didn't take the Clippers or the Knicks or the Spurs, I was blown away just probably as much as Miz was. But when uh when it was Miz's pick though, and I saw that Porzingis was still on the map, I thought for sure he was gonna get an MVP Porzingis after what he did with Cat. But I think it's definitely a great pick. I think they fell about 2 or 3 spots too low. Um, but yeah, that's. I'm just glad they didn't fall one more, and I can't wait to get to this talk about this next pick. But I think the Knicks are a good pick for where they were. They're a great pick for where they were taken.
Well,
But yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, well, stepping right through to the 8th pick since you brought it up, the Grizzlies Crow picks the Grizzlies. Now, I know he was struggling with because I was playing online and it seemed like we kept bumping heads against each other. And of course, he was playing against like Evidence, which, no offense to Evidence, but the team we were putting together were not guys that could compete against any team on the game, much less whatever. And we actually had a pretty good game when he picked the Knicks and played them. Because he thought back at number 5, I thought, okay, he's picking the Knicks. But he did take a couple days to pick, kind of slow dragging his feet. I know it's a very important decision for any owner because you got to play at least 4 or 5 weeks with this team. If you make it playoffs, could be 6, 7 weeks. And you got to be able to take a team to take it that far. So he went with the Grizzlies, which is really surprising for me. I mean, that's a Western Conference team, and I don't even think they're one of the best Western Conference teams. I think they're good, and we played last night against them a little bit, and I was like, there's some weapons here, but I don't know if at 8 that's the spot with what was left on the board. Going right back to you since you brought it up, what do you think?
Thank you. This is my thing about this. This team does not fit Crow at all, and I don't know why he did that. And took the Grizzlies. They're an okay team. I think they're average, maybe average, but it just does not fit Carew at all. And when Carew's pick came up, I thought for sure he was gonna take the Spurs. I thought that was definitely gonna be the team he took. And when he took the Grizzlies, I don't know if he was expecting maybe the next two to go west, the next 2 picks to go to the west, and he sneak into the east with the Grizzlies. You know what I mean? That's what I was thinking. And then when Remix took Boston, and Colin Mott threw a wrench in his plan, because other than that, I don't know why you would take them over the Spurs. They're the same team, except the Spurs have Kawhi. So I don't understand why you would do that unless you're trying to sneak into the East. And I don't even know if Crow's gonna make the playoffs, bro.
Well, at that point, though, he could have taken an East team. I mean, he could have took Atlanta. He could have taken a team that was in the East. Chicago Bulls.
Yeah,
I mean, why would you have that mentality picking up, okay, I'm the Grizz, but I'm going to try to sneak into the East? I don't understand. Because you're picking a West team. They automatically are in the West.
The Grizz are better than those. The Grizzlies are better than those. But I mean, if Trainer would have Trainer took the Thunder, and then if Remix would have taken a West team, by default, the Grizzlies, the farthest East team, they would have been sent into the East.
Gotcha.
But I think the Grizzlies are better than those teams you named off.
But he could have secured an East by picking an East team.
Right, he could have. But the Grizzlies are better than those, though. I mean, in my opinion. But
the Grizzlies are definitely better than any East team up there.
So. Yeah, definitely.
But they're in the West though, so I mean now you're comparing what he just selected the West. He's going to West unless everybody too many people pick the West, and then he goes East.
Yeah, all he needed was the next 2 to pick West. And with the Spurs still on the board, is that really a stretch?
Well, see what he was thinking is that. Go ahead.
Woody. We're going to come to you next anyway, so you tell me what your thought was on that.
If Remix would have went Spurs, then the Grizzlies would have been in the West. And if that was his thinking, I can't blame him for that because I think the Grizzlies are better than any East team remain on the board right now. But with that though, I mean he could have went. I thought I was 100% when it was Crew's turn. I thought he was taking Spurs. I didn't think he was even. I thought he was just being an asshole dragging it out. I thought he was taking Spurs. I know there was rumors that he was going to take Grizzlies and that he's been playing with the Grizzlies a lot.
I mean, Detroit, that's a decent East team. They did well last season.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, Detroit. Yeah, Detroit's not bad.
Okay.
I agree they're not better than the West, but he would have been locked in the East at the same. I mean, Memphis and Detroit's closer to the East. I mean, anyway.
Even with his little baby ass sidekick Irvin, what the hell is he gonna do? He can't just jack up from half court.
I don't know. Moving on to Woody. Let's move it along here, Woody.
Woody, I don't get it.
Looking at the Memphis pick there with 8, did he overthink? Do you think he overthought this whole pick thing and tried to be smart about it and ended up getting caught? You think?
200%. And I definitely agree with. I agree with what part of Jim was saying. Now the part I don't agree about is the whole thing of you saying that the Spurs are the same as the Grizzlies. In a sense, yeah, but not really. And the reason why is because obviously the 3 is better. Period. I mean, Kawhi is better, period. But, I mean, Mike Conley, you got a 93. Mike Conley's a strap artist. He plays great defense. He's a great offensive player. At the 2, you got, Troy Daniels or, a great defensive player in Tony Allen, so on and so forth. The biggest part is the 5. Marc Gasol is a beast on this game. And I think he's actually one of the most underrated big men on this game because he's got a 3 ball. He's got a midi. You know, he's strong, he's big, he can rebound, he can finish at the rim. I mean, it's crazy. Marc Gasol is amazing on this game. But to what James said, he overthought it. He thought, hey, all right, I'm gonna take the Grizzlies. And at that point, I myself thought, Trainer and Remix were going to go west. I thought they were going to try to like push the Cavs or something like that into, or I mean, try to, change everything up. So I thought that they were going to go west, and it was just weird. It was really weird the way that it worked out. I thought Remix might pick somebody like the Jazz or even the Spurs, because the Spurs. I mean, at the 10th pick, if you get the Spurs, that's a hell of a team.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah,
With
for the
20
10th
mil.
pick, I mean 20
With
20 mil and the
you
Spurs,
can
yeah.
pick up the two best players in the league to play Kawhi, and that alone right there is that's half the battle. That's literally half. That's 60% of the battle if you pick up the best Kawhis you can possibly buy, and then you get people who can spread it out big. But it's weird because now that I look at it, you're right. That's not how Crow plays. Haven't I mean Bebe? I've seen Bebe play. I don't think he's good. Me personally, I don't think he's terrible, but he's not good. His game literally relies around, okay, I'm gonna dribble up the court. If I can't chuck up a shot, I'm gonna dribble around and get a screen, dribble into the paint, pass it to Crow. That is literally his game. Get penetration past the Crow. And I mean,
Or
I don't.
Well,
crossovers behind the screens. I don't get the pick either, bro. I don't
let's
understand.
move to our owner on staff here, King Mizark. Looking at that Grizzlies pick there, he's coming into the West of the Conference, coming off of a season where he won it all with the Golden State, and everybody's like, oh, the only reason you won it was because Golden State. I heard that a ton of times. Even here on the show, I heard that the only reason he won it was with Golden State. So he can't. He's trying to probably build a team to compete. He's got to compete again for that. He's got to compete for that. Going up against the Clippers, Golden State. I hate to be a dick, but I'm not going to include evidence in there. But and not really going to bother with Trainer too much. I'd say his biggest competition is you and Golden State. Do you think he can compete with the Grizzlies there?
Do I think? I mean, he'll battle for that third playoff spot. I think you guys aren't giving him enough credit, though. In my opinion, the Grizzlies are a top 7 or 8 team when healthy. I mean, I do think the Spurs are better personally.
Yeah.
But I mean, after that Spurs, Knicks, Clippers pick, I mean, I do have them rated up there as a great team. I mean, Gasol's got a 3-pointer, and you guys got to look at this team's badges because those make up for a lot of the ratings. They have a lot of glitchy badges on that team. But do I think he's going to compete and get to the finals? Hell no. Do I think he's going to beat me? Hell no. Do I think he's going to beat the Warriors? Hell no. I don't see it happening. I mean, it's a good team. He can run that little system with his scheme with 2 people in the corners. But at the end of the day, I'll take my Chris Paul and my DeAndre over his Conley, any Conley he puts on the court, and any Marc Gasol he puts on the court. So I mean, I don't see
I gotta
him.
agree with that.
I don't see him beating us. But I mean, I do see him running that system and competing. And I mean, if Trainer can get a decent team, I mean, get a decent roster, then I mean, right now I have Crow making the playoffs as a 3rd seed. So, but I don't think it's that bad of a pick as you guys are making it. Who is going to take the Bulls? I mean, the only other team he could have took was the Spurs, but I mean, maybe he thinks the Grizzlies fit his scheme better. So, I mean, we'll wait and see with that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's really he knows best with what he has and what he's wanting to build. So I won't. I can tell you this: I've known Crow long enough, he's been around long enough, and he's been playing long enough that I won't count him out. He's going to compete. He's one of the few guys I would say in this all of these owners here that is going to compete with a player. With any team you give him, he's going to put together a decent team and he's going to compete. I'm not saying he's going to win it all. I think he's probably going to make the playoffs because I don't see evidence or Trainer competing with him. But I think he locks in that 3rd seed pretty comfortably. But I think he's going to struggle against Golden State. I think he's going to struggle against Clippers, even with the salary that he has on hand. I could be wrong, but I wish him the best. Moving on to number 9 pick, Trainer at OKC. Now, this surprised me a little bit because Trainer's known to pick shit teams. 76ers one season, and I'm going to laugh at his Detroit Pistons pick, which turned out to actually be a pretty decent pick. I oversold him last season, but he's known as a troll and sometimes he could be real serious and he's a very intelligent person, and then he turns around and makes you go, "What the fuck is he thinking?" But with OKC, Mizark, that's a good solid pick at 9. You think OKC, or you think that he just is trolling again?
It's a good pick. Russell Westbrook's a 95 overall point guard that has rebounding stats better than most big men. I think he's got like an 86 rebound. And for the way those guys play and the AIDS ball that they continue to play season in season out, I mean, with the clogged paint and trainer chucking, then yeah, that's a good pick. I mean, he can go chuck with Russell Westbrook and then have his, two big men play the paint like how they like it. But I mean, I do see them fighting with Kuro, especially with the trainer's not a bad player. He
Yeah.
just he has a horrible system that I try to tell him to fix, but I mean he's gonna run his team his way. But if they can get something going, he's not a bad player, and he can. I mean, he can really shake up the league with his cap, especially with his bid him up list. So I mean, who knows who he gets? All he needs is another good Russell Westbrook that can carry his own line because I mean that is a top, also another top player in the league.
Well, I can tell you this: Trainer is I think one of the better players in the league, just at the game itself. The problem is he doesn't take it serious enough to, he just plays. I mean, I like to play. Don't get me wrong, and I enjoy it. And I don't go into every season thinking I'm going to lose. I want to be competitive, and I want to play with a good bunch of guys. That's more important to me than winning the big one every time. I mean, that's just me personally. But I also want to take it as serious and be competitive as possible. If we're not going to be competitive, I don't really want to play for your team. And what I mean by competitive, I don't mind losing. I just want to be competitive. I don't want to get blown out every fucking game. And Trainer doesn't get blown out, but he's able to screw off a little bit and still compete. Uh, Woody, do you think with OKC he's going to shake up the league a little bit? I mean, with the cap, do you think he's going to shake it up and really compete this year? Or is he just going to troll get that big cap because he did trade down just to screw with everybody and then laugh about it at the end of the season as a big troll that he is? I mean, what do you think, Woody?
This, I mean, it can literally go either way. It's either, oh man, he's gonna screw around, or oh man, it's gonna be a surprising team. Now, me personally, I think OKC at 9 is a good pick. I think I think the Spurs would have been a better pick, but I can definitely see OKC as a ninth pick because Russell Westbrook is crazy on this game. I mean, the dude's fast, his handles are amazing, he rebounds, he dunks on every. I mean, Russell Westbrook is amazing. And it really comes down to the rest of the players, the 2, 3, and 4. And that's, I mean, I think that's how it was last season. With the Pistons, it came down to the wing players, and I think it's going to be that same way. If you can, and even in the four is okay because you got cancer, so it really comes down to his 2 and his 3. If he's going to pick the same people, yeah, they might be okay. But at the end of the season, we're just going to be laughing at him, man. This is stupid. But I mean, if he can get some real wing players who, actually know what they're doing and can ball out, then he's going to be good. Now, with the cap, I mean, Trey is smart. I hate the dude some fucking times, but he's smart. He is going to pick the best players he can get, and that's why he traded down. Because he was asked with the Cavs. They had him in a money league or some other league. I don't know if you guys know about that, but they were terrible with the Cavs. So I think him moving down. I think he is going to bid him up. He's gonna play with a lot of owners, and he's gonna. I mean, he's gonna fuck some owners over. Honestly, he is. But I mean, that's a smart thing to do. That's what you should be doing as an owner. So
Yeah, I mean, I heard rumors that he was going to take Miami Heat, and then Remix was going to take Boston, and they were going to laugh back and go, ha 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 ha, you're stuck no matter what going to the West. If Crow would have not picked a West team already. So I mean, they are chatting back and forth. I know a lot about that, and this is all rumors and so forth. But going with the commish, OKC at that spot at number 9. What are your thoughts?
I'm more interested to talk about Trainer with 19 million. This is what makes me happy.
see,
This is what makes me happy. And this is why I love this cat my pick. When I saw Trainer trade down, yeah, Miz didn't like the show got number 1, and I'm with him. Or whatever. Who was it? Mike got number 2. They traded the 1 and 2 pick. I get that. But when I saw that Trainer was gonna have 19 million, I smiled and I had rainbows in my heart because This means that all these fuckboys that want to sneak into the league from these, uh, pro-am or want to be some low-name nigga, trainer knows all, guys. I'm telling you, trainer knows all. You are not going to slip away. The man got 19 million. You are going to get caught. You're going to get bid up. And now he has a buddy, Remix. Remix is going to be right there with him. All right? Y'all aren't going to get away cheap. It's not. And if you do, I can't. I'm gonna be heartbroken. I will be heartbroken if y'all get away cheap with these guys having this much money. It makes me happy to see that he has 19, Remix has 20. I can't wait for it, man. I'm ready for the bid to start right now. I can't wait. This is gonna be wild, man. I'm excited.
Dude,
Can't wait to get
not
this
to
started.
mention, he has Garbage Assassin, who's, one of the best players in the league, dude. One of the most feared players in the league. So
don't want to be dropped by him.
Don't want to be dropped by Garbage.
Yeah, check his messages. A lot of people have been dropped by him.
So we'll jump right into Remix. One, he's a new owner, right? That's correct. Remix is the new owner.
Yes.
Yes.
20th pick, and I'm looking at what's left on the board. Like, you're looking through and you're looking at what's left, and you're going, okay. Part of me believes that they're going to be trolls or garbage men of the EBA, and they're going to clean up this garbage, and that's fine if that's the case. I don't mind the money coming back in. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But, so, he picks Boston Celtics. Right back to the commish, your thoughts?
I don't even know if I have anything to say on that. You should have taken San Antonio with 20 mil. I don't know. That's not me. Detroit would have been better than Boston. But I just don't. I don't like their one, man. The little ass Isaiah Thomas is just. He is so small, man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe they know something I don't. But
he's a dog.
Well, that's
yeah,
what
I mean, he's good.
Yeah.
He's good. He's good on the perimeter. He's good at mid, man. But I don't know.
Well, that's what I wanted to hand to Woody. Is that Woody? Yeah. You know, probably the players. When we discuss, you talk players more than anybody in badges and stuff. Well, I wouldn't say more than anybody. King Mizark's got a nice list over there as well. But but Boston is about as east as you can go.
Definitely.
For East team. I mean, am I sleeping on them? Am I wrong at this? I mean, like Boston.
It was interesting, and I mean, I watch basketball. I mean, I literally watch basketball every day of my life. So a lot of these times, when I look at these teams, like people that pick on 2K, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at the Celtics, and I can see, and like from an in real life standpoint, I can see where he's coming from because the Celtics are about to get boosted. They are. They're about to get a nice little boost, especially Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas, if he's not a 90, he's going up to a 90.
Well, they got like a 60 in real NBA. They're on a 2-win streak. They're 21-14. They're third in the Eastern Conference. So I mean, in real NBA, but it's different to a video game. I mean,
right. That's what I'm saying. I mean, but the thing is like Isaiah Thomas. I mean, he's a good player. Yeah, he's short, but I mean, he's one of those players. I mean, if you set screens for him, I mean, you can run back and forth. You can shoot with him. He's got a real nice shot. He does. He's got a real easy jumper. I mean, he's one of those players you can run back and forth. He can shoot. And back to what Mitch says, badges. Badges are a big deal. And some of the players on his team. I mean, Isaiah Thomas is badged up. Avery Bradley is really badged up. Now, and the thing about this team is the Celtics. They're a really good defensive team. So if Remix could, I mean, he's got 20 mil for cap. So he's got plenty of money to play with in the bidding. If he could put together a team who is really, defense first and then offense, obviously, you have to score to win games. But if they can, strap people up on defense, I mean, they can be unstoppable. Because, all their players have defensive badges. Avery Bradley and Jay Crowder, both pick dodger and, lockdown defender, all that shit. So it's a good pick. It's interesting, but it's a good pick.
I play NBA 2K. Not a whole lot, not as much as some of these other guys, but I play it as much as I can. When someone hits me up, I try to come join if I'm not in the middle of something. And I can honestly say that Boston is a team I've never played with, I want to say, in almost 2Ks. That nobody ever selects Boston to play a team-up game. And I honestly don't even know like I'm not even a fan. I'm a Chicago fan, but I'm not even a Boston fan. So I don't even know. Like I'm thinking, okay, if Remix grabs me, who would I play? I mean, he probably won't come after me, but I'm thinking, as most players probably are, who the fuck am I gonna play with? Like, jumping
Avery
over to King
Bradley.
Mizark's moving. Yeah, well, I wouldn't mind. Avery Bradley's not a bad player, but moving over real quick to King Mizark. Now, if we're going real teams, San Antonio 28-7 or 28-7 so far, real NBA, and to me they have a much stronger roster. Like you said, with 20 mil, you would have easily taken the Spurs and 20 mil cap because you could have got everybody you wanted on your team. So we already know that question, but to kind of look at it, Boston Celtics, what do you think was going through his mind there? I mean, do you think that were they even on your list of the top 10, top 12 teams?
No, not even close to me. They're undersized. I mean, they have the ratings. They have I think 480 overall players, but Isaiah Thomas is a midget, dude, and Avery Bradley's like 6'1", and your center is Al Horford. I mean, Al Horford's a high-rated player, but he's just. I mean, you really have to play smart basketball with that team. So I mean, E Money does like a mid-range, so I don't doubt why they took that team because Al Horford is a do-it-all center, but he's not a horse in the game, and
Yeah.
he's not someone that's going to grab you 20 rebounds. I mean, he might just because it's E Money, but it's not a bad pick. I mean, if they have a roster that can play smart basketball, because you really can't get a lot of the BS that you do get, with the other teams that have athleticism and height, especially with Isaiah Thomas. I don't know. Is he 5'8"? Is he taller
5'9",
than five
actually.
eight? Okay,
I,
5'9". So I mean,
Don't short him.
average point guard nowadays is around like 6'2". So I mean, you're really gonna have a hard time with Isaiah. They really gotta. I mean, I don't doubt them. They're both smart guys. I mean, I give them my high IQ badge, in real life. So they both are smart guys. So hopefully, I mean, they could get a roster that fits and just play smart IQ, and they could compete in that East. I don't doubt it. I don't see them struggling.
Yeah.
I see them coming up with a good roster and competing in that Eastern Conference, no doubt.
they were
I
gonna,
just had I just had a listener, a fan, listening to the show hit me up, and he was like, "Oh, so why didn't anybody?" As G was talking, why didn't anybody bring up that Remix paid 6.5 mil for E Money to play Horford? That's a lot of cap for a Horford. I mean, but I guess on Boston, you really don't have much star power to choose from, right? I mean,
well,
It's
that
they
would
got
be the case.
like Isaiah's at 88, and I think Horford's at 85, and then Bradley and Crowder are around like
Uh,
81 or
Well,
80.
and really was the
I'm,
question this, as you're setting down as an owner, and I know that you have to keep a lot of things in mind, but to me, and this is just me personally, if I'm setting down there, do I choose the best available team, or do I try to strategically place myself in somewhere where I can be competitive and maybe not win it all, but still give everybody else kind of a headache and still show up in at the end of the season, maybe with a playoff spot, but I know I can't go head to head with like a Cavaliers or
but I
Golden
mean,
State.
being competitive gives you a chance to win it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So at least you're
yes,
there for a
but
shot.
I mean, yes and no. So for instance, the East, and we just talked about this. Was
You
it
can say that
more?
about the whole West, though.
Was it more of a
You can say
troll
that about the whole
situation saying,
West.
hey, let's go as far east as possible to make sure we're in the East because we can at least probably secure a spot in the East? I mean, you got the
Yeah, but
Knicks,
you're the
you
last
got the
pick.
Cavs, you got
But
You're the
at that
last
Toronto.
pick,
point,
though.
at
Yeah.
that point, there's no. It doesn't matter if they chose any Eastern team, they would have been in the
Right.
Eastern
They were going to be in
Conference.
the
Because
But
East.
they
if
were
Yeah.
the
they
last
chose a
pick
Western team, Kuro would have came to the
to
East
the East.
with Memphis. I
Yeah.
mean, me personally, I mean, here's a suggestion. Kamish is in here. Let's randomize our conferences next
Ugh.
season. So we could
Nah.
cut all this dodging out. I mean, there's no reason the Spurs should not be in the league, dude. Everyone just wants to dodge the Warriors, but I mean, if we randomize it, I mean, let the best team win at that point.
Nah.
Well, I don't like. I'm
I
not a
can't
big
do
fan of
that.
one division. I hate the one division. I'm okay with randomizing. Like I'm okay with saying, okay, now the Bulls is in the West because it's a random. Pick 1, 3, 5, and 9 or whatever, however way you 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 are in the West. 2, 4, all the evens are in the East. I'm okay with that. Like I don't have a no matter what team they pick, that's where they're at. As long as it was explained ahead of time before they picked, because that could really mess somebody up if they think they're going to the East and they try to strategically place themselves in the East and then they end up in the West. That would be shitty. So if you randomize them before, like these are the picks and this is where you're at. I don't care what team you pick. This is the division you're in. And then I think the best teams would be picking to take a little bit of movement on it. But I totally disagree with them all in one division and then let the top. I think it does. It does make the best rise, but I think what it does is it removes a team that has no chance.
I wanted to keep the division even back in the VFL days, man. When we did just the we had like Denver in the West or some shit when we did random or some shit. I think it was the first EFL season.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's fucking disgusting. We had no say in where we went or anything like that. As an owner, I liked it. I liked being able to, it was more of a thinking process of picking a team. It wasn't just, okay, well, I'll just pick whatever team I want. It doesn't matter because I'm going to be stuck in this division.
Yeah. But I think Mizark has a good point there as well. I mean, I think the Spurs should be in these
to stay the way it is right now.
Of course, this season you can't do anything about it, but next season maybe put it up for a vote for the owners that you actually pick and let them decide if that's how they want to do it. That way, so you're getting the best 10 teams that can be picked. Just some future knowledge.
Next season, if the Warriors are gone, the Western Conference is going to be flooded. I already see it coming.
Yeah, I guarantee the Spurs will be picked, and I guarantee it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it flooded over there. So real quick, let's go around the table because it's all done. We're all done with the kind of going over. I want to move on and talk about a couple quick things because I'm running out of time here, a little over our time.
One sec. But before we take off, I want to know from these two guys, just from owner, GM, and extensions, who is y'all's favorite right now?
Yeah, you want to go first, Miss?
Oh, myself. Yeah, I got. I'm not gonna go against myself.
Yeah, that would be silly.
Very true.
I got the MVP, and I got
who's number 2?
A possible MVP right now. Shump, hands down. He's got the Warriors. It is Shump. I played with him for many seasons in money leagues and in Pro-Am, and the guys of Waller, and he has the Warriors, which
you think he's gonna be able to get his money? You think he's gonna get his team with his money?
I mean, look, I already talked to him about this. He can get one really good player no matter what. He doesn't have a GM. He can go ahead and go bid $7 million on one guy and then $2 million on a Durant, and there you go. You have your core set. You're with your line with Shump and Swizz, and then you have another. I think it is like 9.5 mil to fill up 8 spots. So I mean, he can live with a bunch of 500K players on those role players as long as he fills up Curry and Durant, the most important two, in my opinion.
So I don't mean to push us along, but what are your thoughts? Who do you got, Woody?
I mean, I have to go with Shump because he has the Warriors. I mean, it's hard not to. I mean, it's really hard not to. But for me, it's more of a 1A, 1B type thing. I mean, I have him, obviously with, he's got the Warriors, so it is what it is. And not to mention, Shump's a great player. I'm not going to say and take anything away from Shump. He's a really good player. Swizz is also a really good player. I mean, we saw that last year. So he's already he's already going to be Curry. He's already got his KD. I mean, that's out of the way. You already got a KD for 1.5, and you got a good KD at that. Yep. So, I mean, he's already doing a good job as far as I'm concerned. Then you got over here, my 1B is, my homie Miz. I mean, he's got the Clippers, and the Clippers are a really good team. I feel like always in the past the Clippers have been underutilized. I don't feel like they've always had the potential to be, up there in the finals, but they're never, there's never really, they've never been utilized right. So I think, he's got 2 horses. He's got, G, and he's got.
Oh, hello? Oh, I'm connecting to the chat, so I apologize for any issues that's happening here. People keep hitting me up while I'm trying to run this show, so I don't know. My networks are blocking my chat. So, I'll go ahead and complete it out real quick, fast, as quickly as possible. I hate to cut those guys off, but I just got disconnected and I can't get back into the chat. So, that being said, I'm going to move forward, because you can't hear those guys, and talk. I think, to answer his question, I think the best team is by far the Golden State, and then from there, it's got to be the Cleveland Cavaliers 1 and 2. I think the Clippers will put up a good fight. I think at the end, I think it's got to be Shump that pulls ahead. If he could put together a decent team, he's already on a good start. So moving forward from there, looking at the next step that we wanted to discuss was actually the Commissioner's Corner. The Commissioner's not here, but he did want to talk about the changes on the season. He also wanted to talk about the full staff that he has. I do know he has Woody on his staff. I also know that he has himself, of course. If you need anything, please hit those guys up if you have any questions, concerns, problems, or issues. They ran a pretty solid season last year. I hope that this year they do the same. So looking at that, hopefully that'll let me into chat here. Not sure why my network is having issues now.
What are you on your list?
Oh, there he is. Okay, good.
Yeah, I was just actually looking for him.
Good. You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Disconnected?
Good. Yeah, it was just some issues here, so hopefully we're good to go. Yeah, I don't know how I disconnected. There's something going on with my system right now, and I'm not sure. Everybody keeps hitting me up, and I think it bogged down my network for a minute. I'm getting 1,000,001 invites to join other parties and talk about other shit. I went ahead and went into the Commissioner's Corner. Talk about the changes on the season. If you want to go ahead and take that, commish, real quick, we can talk about the changes on the season. I wanted to go through and pick 2 teams that should have been picked. We kind of talked about that already, so let's just move along. We're running out of time quickly. So, Texas, if you could go ahead and talk about the Commissioner's Corner a little bit, changes on the season.
All right, number one thing coming into the season. Well, first of all, you already know about the salary thing. We already went over that for the owners and such. The GMs, all the picks are in. We need about 15 to 20 more signups, and we can start the season Sunday. I mean, we can start the bidding Sunday if we can get the signups in before then. So, if any of y'all listening know your boys or know anything, if they don't get signed up by the time Sunday rolls around, if we have enough, they're gonna be left out, and they won't. If you're a TC, if you sign up late, you won't be able to be called up permanently until week 2, and you won't be available for any awards at the end of the season if you're a late sign up. So make sure to get signed up early, get in here now, and get in the bidding. And if you and your people get in the bidding in time, we can start the season Monday. Start the bidding Sundays. Excuse me. Also, want to bring up a few things. First thing I want to bring up is hop stepping. We are allowing hop stepping this season. I had a force read on the site, but in case you just can't read or didn't want to read it, we have hop stepping. Hop stepping is allowed this season. Now it's allowed. It's pretty much a probation era, so we're gonna allow it as long as we don't have a lot of complaints coming from it, a lot of videos of proof or about it being cheese or anything. We'll keep it through. If it is getting exploited again, like it was in the past, and it's unstoppable and such, and real cheesy, then we'll change it again. But as of right now, we're gonna go ahead and allow it this season. I think that's really about it going into the next season. I mean, off the top of my head, Woody, have we talked about anything else? We still got to vote on a few other things that we might push into next season, but I think that's it. But make sure you and your people get signed up by Sunday.
Let me ask you a quick question. Right now we have 100 free agents. That doesn't include the owners, right, already on a team, because the owners aren't in the free agency, correct?
Right.
And that also doesn't include any kind of holdouts that they're there. So I would assume we have at least one per team that re-signed, right? Roughly, is that wrong or right?
No.
How many guys do we got setting out? Because 120 is the number, but how many guys we got setting out that we don't count in this number?
Okay, so we got 10 owners. We got
I think 4 GMs and 3 re-signs.
14. and 4
So
resigns.
we're
So we
really
had
close to that
18.
120 mark then. I mean, if you count those
We have
14,
18.
yeah, 18, and we're
Yeah,
pretty damn
that's why I
close.
said 10 to 15. That's why I
Yeah,
said
yeah,
10 to
yeah,
15
yeah. If we
instead
can get
of
another
15 to
10 guys
20.
to sign up, we would be real good position moving into the season.
We would be ready to go. Yep.
Good.
So hopefully by Sunday, I mean, what was that leave us, like 4 or 5 days? Four, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 days. So hopefully we can get enough signups by then. I mean, 3 days is quite a long time. Hopefully people will. I know I'll probably shoot out a mass message to all my friends and such. Here, as probably as soon as the show's over, they're probably getting tired of getting those messages. But so yeah, that's about it, man. That's all I can think of off the top of my head.
Well,
Uh,
introduce your staff for
of
me. You got you this year, of course, as the commissioner. Who do we have as
right.
your commissioner staff? We know Truth is always there to help if needed, but who else is on your staff?
We got Woody, which is in
Okay.
here right now.
Yep.
Agrees, David
Z
Westover.
actually coming back from last season.
Good.
Defeat you coming off of ownership last season, and probably the most active staff member we have as of this last few weeks has been King John. And I'll tell you what, man, King John has been slaying it. My man's on top of everything. He's done a great job for me, man, and it is a massive relief. So I want to definitely give that man a shout out and a big thank you for him for stepping up because he has been a big help these last few weeks. I mean, he is on top of everything. So I want to thank him. And
Yeah.
if you have any issues or anything, you can contact me whenever, or Woody, or Defeat, or King John. Z actually works a lot. Um, so he
Shout
might
out
not
to
be on
John for
Xbox a
real.
whole lot. Yeah.
Yeah, just
Uh,
saying shout out. He's been doing well, man.
he's
Appreciate
been
him.
killing it. And
So
it's
you six are staff, roughly. I'm saying 6, 7, whatever. So the owners have asked me this a couple times, and I want to clear this up. I believe the rule is you can have no more than 2 staff members on your squad. That's still the real thing. So keep
yeah,
in mind as you're
yes.
going into bidding, if you're picking up Woody and you're picking up James, you can't pick up any more that he just mentioned as staff. That doesn't include any site
Shit.
staff. So that doesn't include Outtaker. That doesn't include me, and that does not include Mags. So it does include Truth.
I,
You have Truth.
it does. I don't think it includes
I think
truth.
it includes Truth because
Because
Truth has a lot of pull
truth.
in the league, but I could be
Yeah,
wrong.
but he doesn't make any rulings or anything, so
Okay.
he's pretty
He
much
doesn't
site.
vote on
He's
anything or
pretty much
anything else.
site.
I think you're right.
Mm-mm.
I
I
think he's
mean,
more site
we
staff.
talk to him. We
Yeah.
talk to him, but he doesn't have a pull. Like if he says some shit, it doesn't matter. We
Okay.
don't have to. We don't give a shit.
So just so it's really that 5
Uh,
roughly 6 whatever. Yeah. No, he does. I
yeah,
mean that's his role is to steer or to lay the tracks and
yeah.
steer the train to make sure it's staying within the tracks. But it's his job's not to get involved in day to day. So you're right. He would not
Hmm.
count. So him, Mags, I, and what you call it would not Truth would not count. So um,
Outtaker.
Outtaker. Thank you for that. Outtaker does not count as well. So if you're just so you know as owners, if you're picking those up, look at those. Something I want to do real quick from the commissioner's corner. You name the staff. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Changes in the season. We're good to move forward.
I can't think of anything, man.
Okay.
I think that's about
So
it.
we are going to discuss real quickly because we're running out of time. We're way over, and I didn't want to take up these guys' time. I appreciate both Woody and King Mizark here, but I want to talk a little bit free agent. There's a couple questions I have. And I know King Mizark's like doesn't want to throw your hand out, so definitely don't do that. But think of yourself as evidence, and you're looking at
Or
this.
do.
Or do whatever. Look at this 100 members that we currently have on the free agent list, and give me a star out of there, like somebody who could run a team. I'm gonna start with you, Mizark, and you could pick anybody you want out of there. Give me one guy that you would say put the money on. This guy should go to a team, and somebody should definitely let this guy run your team, or run a line, I should say. Starting with you, Mizark, who would you place that tag on?
Okay, if I'm evidence and I need a Lillard, I'll probably go with LJ 23. I mean, no, I'm just kidding. Honestly,
That was cold. That was so dirty.
I was thinking.
Oh
I
my
was like,
God.
what the?
I was like, what's going on here?
Average
Like,
18 or some shit.
what's this game? Gotcha.
honestly,
Okay.
I don't want to throw some of these guys in the bus because I really want them. But let me look at this list real quick, and I'll give you a name. Oh my God, I don't want to do this.
Fab.
Well, I mean, Fab
And
created
give someone
a
else.
Fab
Let's give
crea-
someone else a shot who hasn't really, taken an all star before. But I mean, yeah, you could give it to Fab. I mean, why not? You could also go ahead and give it to man. I don't want to do this because I want all these players on my team.
It's Rush, Majestic.
Hey, you can't be.
Maybe
Don't.
maybe
Whoa,
some of
This
those
is
whoa,
guys.
his. Hold
Majestic.
on.
He's Majestic is not good at all. So I mean,
You would
I
say
wouldn't.
that. I mean, you
I
You
would
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 not
definitely
say
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 that.
that.
Yeah, whatever. So just give me one
He's
name
not
that
a
you would
scorer.
place. If you're going to say in this free agent, you would say the best available free agent out there. Doesn't matter position, doesn't matter where, just name the best available free agent out there. Talking free agent pool, there's 100 deep, and it's probably the
Managed to
best
say
free
it.
agent pool I've ever seen.
Okay, well,
Managed to
hands
say
down,
it.
I'm gonna go with my pro am guys. Space Jam, and give that shout out to JT.
Okay.
And Ramo and shots.
Well,
Hands
just
down.
one. That's all you needed. So we'll go Space Jam
Oh,
JT is yours. Move on to Woody.
Yeah.
You can't pick yourself, Woody. I know you're thinking you're the best, but
damn.
just sorry you can't do that. I want to know if, as an owner, you looking through this free agency list, you're looking through and you're going, this is a guy I have to have on my team. Who is it?
I mean, I would like to say JT just because of what he's done all his other seasons. I mean, the other seasons he was around, he was a really good player. I mean, he was a player who could carry a line. So
Well,
I
Mizark already
mean, I have
said
to say him.
JT. He said Space Jam JT, so
Oh,
you got to give me somebody else.
I can't
So,
say
so
myself.
tell
Fab.
me the number two, and you can't say yourself.
Yeah, all right, I mean, I just gotta say Fab at that point then.
Okay, so you're gonna take fat. So those you would say are the probably one and two, whatever order, are the best players available in the free agency.
Yep.
Okay, moving on to the next step. Kamish, who'd you name?
Well,
Had to snap
besides
thinking your name.
Mizark's last season roster, um, you can always go and look at Fab's bid 'em up list. Those are the guys trying to sneak in the league that are supposedly really good. Fab knows a lot of those contacts, but um, who did what did he say?
I said Fab.
Fab.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
you can go with the real Uncle Drew. He
Yeah,
was in the finals last season.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'd definitely argue that he's probably one of the
yeah,
better players available out there.
he would be a great Dame. Drew would be an absolutely savage Damian Lillard. Uh, so yeah, that's what I'd have to go with.
Okay, I will. I don't know his name on it. Let's Get It Boy. Is he even on the list? I'm trying to look for him. I can't find him.
I
He's
seen
supposed
him.
to be in there.
I saw him.
Yeah, Let's Get
I
It Boy.
almost said it.
He's a horsey. Absolute fucking horse. He knows the little
Mhm.
ins and outs, where to position himself. He's amazing. I don't know if he's going to God, I hope he doesn't. I hope he gets on a team that he doesn't know the guys and can have fun this season. Ramo, I think they call him as well. And not be on the team with his boys, and I'm using air quotes, and really show the EBA that they don't have to be together. He can destroy. So I'm telling you right
Remo
now,
is a really good player.
if you let Let's Get It Boy go to any team with his boys, it's over. Like, it's over. We might as well just give him the trophy. Let's move on. Or if you let him go to somebody if you put him on a big over in the Clippers, oh my God, it's over. Like, the kid is amazing. I don't want to push him up because I'm not trying to give your teammate a hand job award, but he's got two downfalls. He's got two downfalls. His attitude's one of them. I know that we argued forever to try to get him over to play when he wanted to play Smite. He didn't really want to play because it's just a free league, and he didn't, whatever. So that could be an issue. The second one is the quit factor. If he gets on with a bunch of bums and he gets rolled, he might be like, "Fucking, I'm out." Or he doesn't like the team he's on. He doesn't build chemistry day one or two. You might be looking to have to trade him away or blacklist him. I mean, that's honestly. That's the only two problems I see. Because that guy, he probably got, hey, come play with his boys, and we'll get you on our team. And now he's not gonna probably be on the team, and he's gonna have something. So that's mine. Just real quickly, that's my number one. Since you guys picked some of the other guys, let's go through there and let's pick two free agent. Let's go two free agent sleepers, guys that you think are sleepers. Don't give your sleepers you're gonna pick away there, King
Let me go
Mizark.
first.
But I'm gonna go ahead. Go ahead. You go first. Who's your sleepers on here that you say, man, you could probably get these guys cheap and they're gonna do work?
One guy that I think that did very well last season, and Miz knows this guy. He was on his team. Uh, is It's Rush. It's Rush is a guy that
Mm-hmm.
pr-
Oh
under
yeah,
the
he's good.
radar, but he's a savage.
No, he's good.
Yeah, so don't let Mizar get home for 500K.
He was 2.5 million, dude.
Bitch.
There you go. Then he definitely better not go for 500K.
What's another one? Give me one more.
Let's go with Woody.
Oh,
Woody is
look,
a
you gotta
sleeper.
call Woody out. Look at that.
500K last season. 500K last season. Power forward of the year, All Star. Let's not let that happen again.
There's a lot of 500K All Stars. Just so we're clear. Woody, give me two that you think are sleepers. Is that I'm not saying they're bad, like, but they're gonna go for good money and they're gonna be worth what they're worth. They're sleepers that you would say yes, these are solid guys to have on your team.
Let's see. Sleepers. Let me think. I mean, there's been a few people I've seen. There's some people. I'm just gonna name people that some people might not know about at all.
Hey, give me
One
two.
dude is It's Harris.
It's
It's Harris. He's
Harris.
actually really, yeah. He's. I mean, he's not or O Harris, whatever his name is. He's not bad at all.
I don't
I
see him
mean,
on
he,
here.
you
This is
know,
dude. Well,
It's
he
O
his name's
Harris.
O Harris. He might not have signed up yet. That's the saying. Yeah,
Well, he
it's like
better
it's
get on
Harris or O
here.
Harris or something like that. But I'm just saying, like, I mean, I've seen him in trials. He's not a bad player at all. He's got a smart
He is there.
IQ.
It's OX
He's
Harris.
Oh, is it
he's
okay?
a
I'm
little
missing him
afraid
then.
to shoot the ball, but I mean, he's better
Oh,
than like
yep.
half these dudes
Yep.
in here. I'm telling you right now, he's better than half these dudes in here. So I'd hate to see him not get there just because people don't know who he is. So him, and then I mean, obviously I'm gonna say me, but
Well, you can't say yourself. That's not. I can't be like, "Ice the man, I'm a sleeper." So go ahead. Tell me who else you got.
well, I mean, at that point, then I have to say like, I mean, you. I have to say, I mean, with all due respect, I mean, it's true though.
Dude,
I
it's
mean,
not
you got
true.
Dirty Falcons
The-
up there.
the
You got
difference-
Beasties
I mean,
up
but I'm just
there.
saying, I mean, like for real though, like I mean, you look at somebody like Ice. I mean, you're always gonna show up. You know, you might get an All Star for participation, but it don't matter. They're still an All Star.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm gonna be there.
So
I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna play my role. I
that's the
tell you
thing.
that. But go ahead.
I mean, you have to have active players who are going to show up and do what they have to do. You know, if you got to stand in the corner, I mean, that's what you're going to do. I mean, you're going to make that money. It is what it is, and I mean, I respect you for that.
Yeah.
So
Well, I appreciate you kissing the host's ass. That's always nice. But let's move on. King Mizark, what are your two guys that you feel are kind of sleep? Don't give your big guys. Just give me a couple guys that you think would be sleepers in this free agent here.
Okay, well, while everyone's, got the target on my back, I'm going to try to go at, some of Mike Mann's guys from last year. They were decent players. I mean, that guy, Master Quickie, was playing pretty good with, I think it was CJ McCollum. So, I mean, that guy might be a good JJ Redick for me, James Smith.
He's
So
a
I don't know how
bum.
you feel about
He's
that.
a bum. He's a bum.
he is a
Okay.
bum.
Another guy that I played with actually on a trial, and I actually liked how he was playing, was, I don't know what team he was on last year, but Illmatic Titan. That guy was pretty solid too.
Yeah,
He was
he's
playing,
good.
his role and
I played with him
taking
before.
smart
He's good.
shots, pulling up, taking the midi. I mean, I'll
Trade
take him on my
blocks, too.
team. I'll take him on my team, and let me see who else real quick.
Ah,
Hey, you
obviously-
said two.
you too.
You said
He's
two.
calling out everybody.
You said
Mike
two.
Mann's guys. It is. I'm gonna go with. There's a couple sleepers in here that people don't really know about. AO, it's Mark. Used to be Mark Dog a long time ago. He's a solid 2K player. He plays a lot of Pro-Am. I got him to sign up because he's a friend of mine and said, hey, come on, let's play. If he's on my team or not, I don't care, but I do. AO Mark is I think, a good sleeper. He's probably go for 500K. He might even go training camp if someone got a steal. He's a solid player. Like I say, he plays a lot of, he plays with like Aries and Zero Kid, and he plays small forward there for them. So I don't know if he'll be good with a transfer over, but he's good at that anyway. I know I play a lot of street ball with him, so I like him. I also like, I know you probably Zero Kid actually. I like him a lot as well as a big man. He does travel a bit, so his thing's a little scary, but I do like him as a big man. I think is my second one I'll go with. There's some really good names in here. Mello be ballin', like he's in here. Man, there's some really good names in here, man. I know, like
Dirty
Eastern's
Falcons.
in here. Eastern 30. He's not. I don't know if Eastern. That's not the real Eastern or not, but that's. I mean, these guys. There's some really good guys in here. I want to do a quick.
Man,
Just
Fig when he signs up. Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot
Yeah,
of players.
please.
Man.
is Fig
Please take
signing up?
Fig, bro. If he signs up, please.
Oh, okay.
Please,
So
somebody take
I want to
Fig.
yell
Oh my
at. I mean, just
goodness.
looking through. Just a reminder. If you're confused, there's a season 5 All Stars for the West and East in there. You got guys like Majestic, the Truth, JGW. That's one. That's a good sleeper, man. I mean, he's gonna go
He is.
500K, 1
He
mil.
is.
The guy's gonna show up to every game that he's scheduled for.
He's available.
He's gonna play his ass off, and he's gonna do what he needs to do to win. And he's not a bad player. I think he's solid. You said Too Cool was already picked up, right? I mean, those
Yep,
three
he's,
centers from
he got
from the
extended.
East. All three of those centers from the East. Woody, I mean, Garbage Assassin, is he picked up as well or no?
No, that guy is a monster.
Oh, he's third. He got an All Star. So call it participation what you want, but he got a third All Star. Some of these other All Stars, MC
Corrupted.
Sticks. Is Corrupted on there?
Sticks is
Oh,
extended.
Corrupted.
Yep.
Yeah, what? Corrupted's
All right,
a
well, are
monster.
we running out of time, guys?
Oh,
let's stop
Yeah,
real quick, I want to say congratulations to G Money. I just did payroll for season 5. I waited to get forfeits in because those staffs are slow as hell to get anything you need. But
Bruh, I gave it the truth. He lost it. Okay, I gave it the truth like 3 weeks ago, and he lost it, dude.
So
don't come at me with that.
So you got the highest actually total paid out for the season at 14 million. So if this was real money, his ass would be rolling in some dough right now. 14 mil with G Money he made last season. That includes all of his awards and his salary added in. Setting with 28 silver in his pocket here. Hopefully before the end of the weekend. I plan on getting it done before next season starts. I have to do it manually, so it's a pain in the ass. But the realist is up there at 24. You take out some of the owners. You got the Truth JGW, but he also made 11.5 on staff salary, so he's making bank doing his job, working all those hours. King Mizark, he's up there. He's actually number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 4. He's fourth on the list at 12 mil, tied with the realist at 24 silver here. That is all of his awards he won. You got some good guys up there. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and publish this probably, like I said, by the end of the week, so you guys will see. Number 10 is E Money, top 10. Texas J made it, of course, with his $9 million salary for being commish. But I'll actually give out all the EC. I put some new EC stuff in the store if you like PC games. I put a bunch of new PC games in there. Also put a few other things. Also, I want to just mention real quick, the EHL is coming back. I'm a huge hockey fan. The commissioner I've been working with, he had a small league. They're already up, I believe, to 40 signups, which is pretty quick considering we just announced it a couple days ago to try to bring hockey back. I think we're at right now. I'm looking right now we're at 42 right now. Go sign up. They're looking for some owners. It's off season, so it doesn't really affect your current season. It's Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. The only day that will kind of combine is Sunday. So it should be okay for people to get early games in that way, so they can play during the weekend and not have to worry about playing interfering with EHL or EBA, which it did in the past. So if you're interested in playing both, go play hockey. It's fun. If you don't, download the game. I just like rocking people. I'm a big bully on the ice. So old football fan, so I really love hockey. Go sign up. That's kicking. EHL. Also, Smite's trying to get moving. If you're interested in playing Smite, I normally don't sign up for Smite, but I did because they're looking to get more guys. So I'm trying to help them grow. So go to Smite as well, although that should not really affect too much in my EBA. Any shout out, guys? Start with Woody. Anything you want to say before we go say goodnight?
I just want to say shout out to staff. I feel like we've been doing a good job so far trying to keep the community involved and, getting everybody involved in everything, making sure that, we listen to everybody. I want to say thanks to John. John joined, he's been a big part. He's been a big help in staff, so he's done a lot too. So I want to say thank you. Thanks to all the owners, who have, stuck around so far and you have done their job so far. And I just, I wish the best of luck to everybody.
Definitely.
Commissioner Woody, everybody.
Commissioner Woody. King Mizark, got anything you want to real quick shout out since we called out all your boys on your now you have to go with a new strategy into bidding? Any shout outs or anything you want to
I'm just hoping for a good season, honestly. I'm just ready for this, this shit to start, honestly. But no real shout out. I'm not gonna drop some names of who I'm start targeting. Go ahead and bid up my old guys. None of them are coming back. I do not want them. I got a new strategy coming along.
Well, they left you
So
hanging going into the finals or going into that last playoff, so I can definitely understand you got some frustrations built up there.
I don't want to dwell on it. It's a past. We're going for the championship this season with the Clippers. I need some Blakes and some JJs. So if you're interested in playing, always competitive. We have fun, but we do want to win. So if you want to play for someone like that, let me know and I'll give you a tryout.
Sweet. Any shout outs, Commish? Anything you have to say?
I want to thank all the guys that signed up ASAP and my staff, obviously. And I pat Woody on the back, but his hand's in the way. So,
You damn
yeah.
right.
The, the rest of those guys, all the owners, we got a great owner core this year. We got a great owner core this year. They looking damn good. So hopefully the season will turn out even better than the last season. We had a good season last year. Hopefully this one will be even better than them. And all the guys that actually voted on the Golden State vote in the community, I appreciate that because it had so many views on it and only got what was it, like 60 votes, 65 votes, which appreciate all you guys that actually care enough to vote.
That's actually pretty good.
And that's
I think that's
that's
better
about
than any
it.
other
Yeah,
vote we
yeah,
got
it
out
was.
there.
It was good. There was like 70 something signups at the time, and they got 60 something votes. So
Well,
it
stay active.
wasn't too
I want to
bad.
thank everybody for staying active in the forums. Fav for posting an article. Keep everybody active. I think it's like page 5 or 6 now. We've got some batter going back and forth. I enjoy giving my input, even though it's just input. Um, Also, of course, to the owners for
Bit 'em
showing
up.
up, bid them up. I want to take a moment and thank the commissioner,
Thank you,
Texas James
sir.
Smith.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
so much for being the commissioner again this year and getting shit rolling. Also, your staff,
You're
big
very welcome.
outs. All the owners, again, big outs as well.
Hmm.
So, um, real quick, check out Kate. Stay active on the site. Owners, I gotta holler to my 10 owners real quick. And I know that you guys already have plans to do whatever, but don't let no super team get bid. Don't end the season before it starts. Do you get the best team you can get? That's what everybody should be wanting to do. And there's that make that salary thing work for you. They should be strong teams at the bottom. They should have strong rosters at OKC and Boston, and some of those other teams should have more than enough cap to put. That's the whole reason for that thing to be in place. Don't abuse it. Buyout tokens, guys, don't abuse it. I'm telling you right now, I put a couple posts in there. There's a limit to them, and when you're done, you're done. You're out. So don't take advantage of, I'll just quit and come back next season. I'll just quit it because your measly $10 don't mean shit to me for real. It doesn't even pay my bills. So keep that. And as always, thank you for being a part of the EBA, and expect it every week. Other than a couple things, I think I got to leave to go to GDC this year in end of February. But we should be deep into playoffs or over with playoffs by then. Texas, you with me every show this week or every show this month?
I'm here,
This
man.
season?
I'm here.
All right. Thank you
I'm
to my
here.
guests. Thank you, King Mizart. Appreciate you showing up, brother. And thank you, Woody. First time I've had 2 guests on. It does make it go a little longer, but I appreciate both of you for showing up.
Yeah,
No
no
problem.
problem,
Thanks
man.
for having me.
Thanks, guys. I have something side note. We're all done. You guys leave, whatever. But I have something side note just for the listeners. I'm going to have a different entrance and exit this season. Last season, it was the creepy laugh at the beginning. I call it Dobrod. I make my own music. So I have a couple of them. I'm going to put both of them on and then vote. I'm going to put a little probably at the end. Just put as you were posting and in the post after you read it, just tell me which one you like. The first one or the second one to be the whole theme music for this season. So I want to play through both of them, but you guys can head out, do whatever you got to do. We're all done. Appreciate everybody. This is the first mix.
Bless you guys.
That's the first one. I'm going to play the second one now. So picks 2. It's both of them. I'll put up a post to let you select all of next season 2 of the EBA tonight, pretty much. But season 6 theme song for our show, EBA tonight. Let me know which one you like, and that will be our new theme song. I put up a poll in the thing at www.eliteteamplay.com. Check us out if you're not signed up. Sign up now. Take care. Your boy.